before. All's fair in love and war. So I snuggle up close to the shell I'm living in. And if I let you in, another round begins. No, I'm spinning in a vicious cycle. I'm scared of doing something I'll regret. Maybe this is right, but I'm still staring at your silhouette. What if you're everything I need? A fire in my heart, the air I breathe. What if I'm incomplete without you by my side? What if I go against my heart instead of confessing from the start? What if I miss out on the life meant for us? I need you by my side.
Should I be scared? The feeling's so different now. You got me floating here, a feather in the air. Oh, but when the wind blows, will I tumble or sail away? Or would you have me stay? And what if I escape? I know
I'm spinning in a vicious cycle. I'm scared of doing something I'll regret. Maybe this is right, but I'm still staring at your silhouette. What if you're everything I need? A fire in my heart, the air I breathe. What if I'm incomplete without you by my side? What if I go against my heart instead of confessing from the start? What if I miss out on the life meant for us? I need you by my side, by your side. I'm not afraid. We found something that'll never fade. We can be ourselves and figure out the rest along the way. What if you're everything I need? A fire in my heart, the air I breathe. What if I'm incomplete without you by my side? What if I go against my heart instead of confessing from the start? What if I miss out on the life meant for us? I need you by my side. I need you by my side. I need you by my side.
Good morning. Good morning, guys. I'm sorry, a little bit late, I know, but I'm running a little slow this morning. Oh Lord. My old body just didn't want to cooperate today. So I don't know if you know this or not, but yesterday I had a very special guest on the Clear as Mud podcast. I got a message late Saturday evening. Something had come up. Banana was not able to come back as he had intended, and in fact, he's going to have to take some more time off. So I'm hoping that he can get things lined out and kind of get things where where he needs to be. Anyway, so I went to the very intelligent, lovely, vivacious, beautiful, sexy, mighty Miss Riv, and she came on the show yesterday, and we had a really, I think, a good show. We had some good conversation, and we had a caller that called in, the lovely Aussie News. Is that his ass? I tell you what, I'm getting where I'm so horrible with names. But anyway, I had a caller and had a nice little conversation. And anyway, if you guys missed that podcast, you can find it at the Clear as Mud. So go check that. You might want to check it out. I thought it was a good show, and I loved hanging out with the wife, and everyone seemed to enjoy it. Everyone seemed to think it was good, and they seem to be positive. All positive comments, stuff in the news or in the comment section, what have you. So anyway, so let's just get into it. I know I'm a little bit scatterbrained this morning. I'm trying to get things, like I said, I was running late, and I just I'm a little bit disheveled this morning. I apologize. So our cartoon for this morning is, we've got a couple of 3 needles here, and they've lost one, and so they've got to go looking for them in the haystack. And you see they got the picture, the missing person's picture here. Aussie Wordsmithy, yes, Aussie Wordsmithy. Thank you, Purple. I swear I need to keep her. Anyway, funny little. I swear these pictures that Purple comes up with, they're just, I don't know, they're old takes, or they're takes on old puns and stuff like that, but they're always fun. Or at least I find them funny. So I guess there's that, right? We did get some, we covered this on the show not too long ago. It came out, it was announced that beloved actor Bruce Willis had a real downturn in health, and he's having some real issues with cognitive issues and what have you. And so anyway, they recently, this is coming from Demi Moore's Twitter account, they had a birthday celebration for Bruce. Let's just watch and see.
To you, happy birthday, dear Daddy.
Just like that dog.
Happy birthday to you.
He looks like he's having a good time. There you go. That's good to see that he's celebrating with his family and stuff, right?
Oh my God. Hip hip. Hooray! Hip hip. Hooray!
Good for Bruce. Good for Bruce. You know what? And I tell you what, I don't like this man. I don't like Hasan. I don't like Hasan Piker one bit. I think his ideologies, his political ideologies are as about as back-asswards as can be. But when someone does the right thing, or someone does a good thing, a decent thing, I have to acknowledge it, and I will celebrate it with them and for them. And so Hasan went around to some of the local animal shelters in around his area. I guess he's looking for a doggy or a pet puppy, whatever to adopt, to raise or whatever. Anyway, so we'll just play the video.
Incredible. I still want to pay for the adoption fees of all the puppies that you guys have here today. So it's at least like when someone wants to come and adopt a dog, they can get them, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so
Do
nice of you. Yeah, Tiffany will definitely help you guys with
puppies on side or
that.
the dogs and
No,
puppies
just
on side?
Thank you guys.
All of them.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Is there trash somewhere?
Yeah, I got you.
Here you go. Sorry.
Did you want to do a check, or do you want me to
I can just use a credit card.
online? Yeah, we can do
Yeah.
that. Absolutely.
This facility was $500 per adoption fee. So if you come here and you don't have $500 and you want to adopt a dog and you're eligible, you fill out a form, you can come and adopt it, and it'll be for free for you, hopefully. You can say the Hasan hookup, you know what I mean? This facility, unlike the other one, is $500 for adoption.
Man.
And we paid for all the dogs in here, which totaled to $15,000. I don't know how many dogs that means. I think it's like, I don't know. I can't do the math, but whatever. It's called Wags and Walks.
Wags and Walks.
Bringing happiness home. And I also, she literally was like,
$15,000.
well, you are a big donor. Maybe we can make some, for the Great Danes. Maybe we can find something out. I was like, no, don't do that. I was like, don't do that. But like also, maybe, no. I was like, no, don't do that.
So you know what? Good for Hasan. He gets a W on this one, right? Anyway, John Bonzombie, there is nothing better can do that will ever take back what he said about 9/11. You know what, John? You're right. He said some really horrific things about 9/11. He also said some pretty horrific things about Representative or Senator rather Dan Crenshaw, right? Who was a wounded Navy SEAL. He lost his vision fighting. Hasan, like I said, I don't agree with the man's politics. I don't agree with him. I think he's a very short-sighted, just horrible person, really and truly. Like I said, some of the things that he said, I think he is a horrible person. However, we need to try to, as human beings, right? We need to try to, just because it's someone we don't like, it's someone we don't agree with, it's someone we don't necessarily care for. If they do something that is good, then we have to give them some roses, right? Or some flowers or whatever, as they say. We have to give them their props. And him laying out $15,000 to pay the adoption fees so that hopefully some animals get to find loving, nurturing homes and are not in a animal shelter. That's a good thing to me. And so for that, I'm going to give him some props on that. I still don't like, mind you, what he said or did, but I will give him some props for that. So yesterday, afternoon, evening or whatever, I was scrolling through Twitter, whatever, and Chris the Narc had shared a post. It was or something. It was about I think it was some TikToker, some sort of TikTokers doing something stupid or whatever, right? And I made a comment about, that's just where the oatmeal brains gather, right? Because whenever I scroll through TikTok, primarily that's what I see is a bunch of oatmeal brains. Not that we don't have them here in, the YouTube world too, because Lord knows we got some oatmeal brains as well. I mean, for crying out loud, look at, what do you call it? Sneeko. right? Aiden Ross. There's a couple of perfect examples of some oatmeal brains. But anyway, and I just kind of jokingly, whatever, doing my thing, right, with the merch shop, so we can get your oatmeal brain shirt, da. And so Hannah the animal said, well, why don't they come in hoodies? And I was like, I could have done a hoodie. I didn't think about doing a hoodie. And so I fired up the website and whatever, and went over there and did up. And so, I did up a hoodie, and I tagged, I said, Hannah, I'll put one up, whatever, for you. And you can see here, there's the hoodie. I've got it again, as low as I possibly can get it. And comes in black, or you can get it in purple. The purple really causes it to pop. I think the purple really shows up well. There's a peach, if you guys, if you're, a peach one, or you can get your just standard gray. And I think it shows up. Well on the gray as well too. But anyway, this is a I went with a unisex one. So it will fit either or, and it's got the little little pouch, little pocket down here, Now I'm gonna tell you something. I bought these hoodies before. I bought one of these for my mom, and these hoodies are extremely soft. They are really, they're good quality. My mom loved them. One that I got her for anyway, and they do go to the USA and Europe, it says. Okay, and like I say, it goes up to from a small up to a 3XL. So anyway, and being a woman of her word, Hannah did buy one, and so good for She said it would be perfect for walking her puppies, and I'm what? So hey, cool beans. And like I said, remember all the proceeds, all the money that comes out of this these sales stuff will go into purchasing stuff for people in our community, right? So anyway, let's take a minute here and talk to some people in chat. Who we got this morning? We got Miles Broom. It says, I loved your wife on the pod yesterday. You need to have her on more. Well, possibly. She enjoyed it. She had fun. She's you know what her biggest criticism of herself is, guys? She says she sounds like a hick. And when she kind of listens to sometimes when she listens to things back or whatever, like if we're doing, recordings for, family get-togethers, how that stuff is. You take pictures and you do some little videos and whatever, family get-together. She gets so upset at her. She goes, I sound like such a hick. And I was like, honey, no, you don't sound any more of a hick than I do. I said, and I said, trust me. I said, that's going to endear you to the people. I'm telling you, they're going to wind up loving you more than me. She's like, no, I'll get you canceled. Because, let me tell you something about my wife. Now, I love my wife. Dearly, I love my wife. But, y'all, she's no nonsense. She'll cut you straight to the bone. Matter of fact, as she was going out the door this morning on her way to work, she asked me, because yesterday towards the end of the show, fake ass twat who was watching, he didn't call in, but he put a question in the chat. He wanted to know what my wife thought about the whole Sabo Pancakes and Edwin situation. Now, y'all, my wife doesn't know anything about online stuff. She every once in a while, I will tell her about if something is so just crazy, I'll sit down with my wife and talk to her about it, and she'll just look at me and roll her eyes and just say, "What's wrong with you people?" And I don't have an answer for her, right? Because like I said, she pretty much thinks I'm brain dead for this stuff. But anyway, so I had to give her like a real brief synopsis of what that host, whatever, right? And so my wife, one of the things that my wife does is she does not always just pop off as far as with a comment, whatever. A lot of times she will stew on things and she will think about it, whatever, right? And so she asked me to convey this message to Fake this morning. And I don't know if Fake is in the chat watching or not. If he's not, then maybe he'll catch us in the bod later, whatever. But here's what my wife had wanted me to pass along to Fake. She said, if all these things are true about those two young men, she said, and I quote, the first thing that needs to be cut is their internet access. And the second thing that needs to be cut is someone needs to go and get the Black & Decker home kit and they need something else cut. I'll let you guys leave that to your imagination. So like I said, my wife don't play. Where I tend to have a little bit more mercy and grace towards people, my wife has zero. So there's no mercy or grace in her. She's pretty rigid. And as you guys say, she's exactly castrate. Miss Riv don't play. I'm gonna tell you something. When my two young boys got to the age, because like I said, they're just a little over a year apart, right? And so it came the time where I had to talk with them, right, about the birds and the bees and responsibilities and all that kind of stuff that you're supposed to do, right? So I had to talk with them and whatever, and I knew, and my wife, knowing that I'm a little bit softer and kinder and gentler, whatever, she wanted to drive the point across that basically she did not want to be raising no teenagers' kids, right? So when I got through having a conversation with them, she sat them down. She goes, let me tell you something. She goes, if I find out you two out here running around sticking your little willies in places they don't belong, she says, I'm going to find the dullest, rustiest butter knife I got. And she goes, I'm going to cut them things off and throw them right down the garbage disposal. Whew. Y'all, if you could have seen the expression on my two sons' face when she just flat out said that she was going to cut their manhoods off with a dull, rusty butter knife and just throw them down the garbage disposal, she made a lasting impression on those young men. So that was not even a problem. We to this day, we still don't have there's still no kids. We don't have no nothing. Listen, I'm telling y'all, you don't know. This is the woman I married. That's also why I knew I would never, ever stray. Nope, I would never stray on this woman. Because I'd probably go to sleep one night and not wake up the next. You're scared of her. How would you like to be married? So anyway, but no, so Fake, I don't know, like you said, I don't see you in the chat there, so hopefully you'll catch this later on. But that was my wife's message to you on how to handle that whole situation. So anyway, but I'm going to try to maybe have her on again. She enjoyed it. She thought it was fun. I'll probably do a little bit better. Next time I'll set it up to where she can see the chat and stuff where you guys talk and what have you. I kind of got a little chastised about that afterwards because she couldn't see the chat. She thinks that maybe possibly I'm not being completely just brutally honest with her about how you guys responded to her. Because she thinks I sugarcoat everything, that I have all this, But I was telling her, I said, no, they really did like you. But anyway, so let's see who was out there in chat this morning. Miles, Purple, Trippy Savage, Shockmouth Mitch, how you doing this morning, buddy? Squatchin, Jardin. Why can I not ever say your name? Jardinosaur. Who else we got there? Of course, John Bon Zombie. Not your typical mom, Pickleton. Leanna. Hey, Leanna's joining us from down under this morning. How you doing, honey? Abby Blackbird and Nani's Moose, Weird Caller Guy. Rian, how you doing there, Rian? Man, you've been turning out some really good artwork here. I've really been appreciating it, brother. And Melissa. And that's a new, I don't know if I've seen that name before, Melissa. That seems like to be a new name. But anyway, I'm glad you guys are in here this morning. So let's continue on. This next story kind of brings back some horror stories for me. I'm going to be quite honest with you. So this guy, this is a video put out there on the TikTok, and it was brought over, imported in here to Twitter. So this neighbor found this beverage that his one neighbor found this other drink that this neighbor had been looking for quite some time. And I guess in their part of the country or whatever, it's a rare or hard thing to find. And so anyway, it picks up with, he's got a camera and he's walking across, goes, said he found my neighbor Fred's favorite childhood drink. He's been looking for these for over 10 years.
I found my neighbor Fred's favorite childhood drink.
Y'all. Let me tell you about my story about MD 2020. When I was in my early 20s, like 22, 21, 23, somewhere in there, I had this group of people we ran around with, and on weekends we'd get together. I may have been like 19 or 20. Somewhere in there. It was when I was late teens, early 20s. And possibly it was illegal for me to consume. But we would get together. We had this group of friends would get together on weekends and stuff, and we would drink and party and have fun and whatever, right? As young people do. Well, money was always tight. Money was always a limited, thing. And so this particular weekend, we didn't have a whole lot of money, and you could get like a pint of Mad Dog, I think, for like maybe a couple of bucks, right? And so we got, I don't know, 4 or 5 bottles of Mad Dog, and we stopped off and got us pepperoni pizzas or whatever from Little Caesars, pizza, because you could get 2 pizzas basically for the price of one, Little Caesars. And so I proceeded to consume the Mad Dog 2020 and eat the pizza. I have never in my life been as sick as I got that night off of that combination. And it wasn't the pizza. I mean, the pizza was the pizza, whatever. It's Little Caesars, right? But that Mad Dog 2020 so messed me up. I was so hungover for like, I don't know, 2 or 3 days afterwards. It was so horrible. And nowadays, on the rare occasion that I go into a liquor store, if I go by an aisle that has Mad Dog even on the shelf and I see it, I have a physical reaction to it. I just start shuddering and shimmying. It was, oh God. Let me tell you something, y'all. Mad Dog 2020 is of the devil. Stay away from it. Don't have anything to do with it. I'm telling you, it's of the devil. But anyway, this guy, this neighbor, I guess he grew up on it, and he goes on to talk about how he used to go and play basketball with all of his buddies in the neighborhood and whatever. And they would, they drink the Mad Dog and so forth, what have you. So, no, Mad Dog is no. And I don't know. Evidently, it has a selected region that you can only get it. But man, I'm gonna just tell y'all, stay away from it. If it's not something that you have like readily available, just do yourself a favor and stay away from that stuff. Oh, it'll mess you up, Abby. No lie, no lie. It will 100% mess you up. But it's the after effects that's the problem. And guys, I'm gonna tell you something. From my best recollection of drinking it, it had a texture to it. Alcohol shouldn't have a texture, but this had like this gritty texture to it. It's bad. It's bad. There's no way of making it good. And here's the thing. It's like a it's like a cheap wine is what it is. It's not even really a liquor. It's a cheap wine. And it's bad. Oh Lord. Anyway. All right. So have any of you guys ever done Uber? I've done Uber. I've done a few Uber rides in my day, right? And all of mine were nice. I had no problems. Once or twice they was a little late. They kept pushing back the time when they was going to pick you up or whatever. And that was a little bit aggravating. That was a little bit of frustration there, But anyway, it's whatever, right? But I never had one like this before.
I'm just trying to ask him to go to speed limit is all.
I'm saying I'm gonna go.
Oh. Okay. Okay. All right.
Car now.
Well, you got to. Hey, you're gonna have to open that trunk.
It's crazy, y'all.
I'm not going anywhere until you open that trunk.
Woman, I guess it's a woman. I don't know this person. Let me go this way. This person's crazy.
Nope. You're gonna have to get my bag out of your car. I just want my bag.
Construction table.
All I want was my bag. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Whoever eats that. Fuck your mama too. Oh Lord, this is down south.
Me too.
We gotta fuck your mama too. Interstate, y'all. Good night. So they have Uber holding sales in Chicago. Insane. Cuck says morning. Okay. Jardinosaur says big tents with lines and numbers. My little rural town has 0 Ubers. Yeah. I don't think I have any Ubers here where I live either. If it's any consolation, but I've been in bigger cities and stuff where they do have Ubers. And all the ones I've ever taken was always real nice and stuff. It was no problems at all. So, but anyway, so got some I guess you call it some sporting news or whatever you want to call it. So this guy here on the right, this is Jake Paul's trainer, right? This is boxing training. His name is BJ Flores, right? And he was allegedly was robbed and shot in the leg.
Guys,
and he put out this video here.
Everybody appreciate the message. Thank you so much. See where the pistol was held right there. That's when they came to the car and they put the pistol right there. Crazy. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Pistols right there, yelling at me to give my wallet, my watch, everything. We're definitely targeted. They couldn't have possibly seen my watch when I was sitting in the passenger seat on my left hand. So we're definitely targeted, and it is what it is. I'm still alive. Everything's good. I'm happy. The doctors came in and told me we got surgery coming up now, so I'll be under for maybe an hour, hopefully less. Get this thing out quick and on to the next. But anyways, yeah. Stay safe out there, guys.
So evidently, he was shot in the leg, from my understanding, and I haven't seen anything where I don't think they even caught the guy or anything like that. or the person's responsible for this, but evidently he's going to be okay. But that's wild. I mean, that's absolutely positively wild. Evidently, Matt Pitt has had the tables turned on him. I'm sure we've all seen, the tweets and stuff in the past. Like if a couple of people are having some Twitter beefs, they're kind of yan back and forth. You've seen Matt hop in there and say, "Hey, would you guys like to come into the now recording?" And we can, because Matt always being the entrepreneur that he is, the business-minded person, whatever, he sees an opportunity to get some people in there, get some views and what have you. He jumps at it. Well, evidently, I guess some things were going on between Matt and Beavers or whatever. So Zolly jumps in and says, "Hey, Matt Pitt and Beavers McWood, would you two like to hash this out on the broadcast?" And so Matt quote tweets this and says, "Zolly kept harassing and DMing and gaslighting me and wouldn't leave me alone about this. She's too content-brained, I tell you." That is cracks me up. Matt Pitt got Matt Pitt. Good for Xiley. Oh Lord. That was some good stuff right there. I'm telling you, that was some good stuff. Oh, mercy. So we'll get into this final story, and then we'll get out of here, guys. We'll go start our day and have some fun, right? But anyway, so this last story, Chris the Narc. Now, you guys know I like Chris the Narc, and I was able to catch a part of this stream. And Chris and some of his buddies or whatever, they went out and they had a little drinky poo, right? Had a little drinky poo. And Chris came home and went live. Now, I'm not saying that's the right or the wrong thing to do. I'm just saying that it leads to entertainment, right? Anyway, so Chris is doing his little stream, whatever, and bless Hannah Clark's little heart, she caught some clips and stuff here for us. We'll take a look at this. So here's our boy Chris, right? Here's our hero, Chris. Oh, Chris. Look at him. Look at him. He's white boy dancing. He is white boy dancing. Look at him. He's so goofy. He is so goofy.
I'm taking back.
Look at him. Look at him. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to say what. I hope one of these days it works out to where Chris and I can get together. Now, I don't think I can get drunk anymore because I'm just too old and that shit's just too painful for me. But I would like to get out and just have a few drinks and kind of get to that comfortable level, where you're just kind of in the zone a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And because I think Chris would be a hoot and a half to hang out with. And I think that would be cool. And Chris ain't got no moves, Toxic. No, we have to be real here, brother. Chris ain't got no moves, right? He don't even have moves for like a white boy move, though. See, that's the thing. Now, I like Chris. I think he's a good dude. I do. But he ain't got no soul, man. He ain't got no soul. He ain't got no rhythm. So, what is this here? Oh, here's another one. What's this here? Take Me Home. Oh, Lord. He's singing. He's not singing John Denver. He's not.
Take me home
to the place.
We can't get copyright, I'm pretty sure.
I belong.
Stop! Copyright.
West
Look at Chef.
Virginia,
Chef is disappointed in you.
Mountain
Stop.
Mama.
Stop.
Take
Drunk
Stop,
singing.
dude.
Chris
Stop.
is drunk singing.
You can't sing it. You can't sing it, dude. Chef, stop your dad here.
Your dad.
Take
Good Lord. Boy, not only was he white boy dancing, he's white boy singing. Well, Lord mercy. Well, hang on. Wait, he's Italian. We can dance. Well, let me tell you something, John. Italian people may or may not be able to dance. I don't know. I haven't been around a lot of Italian people, so I can't really be a accurate judge on that. But what I can tell you is most every wedding that I ever did that was Caucasian, shall we say, right? Because I had some weddings where there were, they had some, black friends there and stuff too. Here's what I'll tell you. This is always the way these weddings would turn out. Either, let me go full cam because this is a story and a half right here. So either weddings would go three ways. Okay. Either wedding would be very low key. There would be no alcohol. It would be boring. I would play a lot of music. They would either get out and they would get, like if it was a more older crowd, they would want music played like either like some really slow, country type music that they could dance to. Maybe a little two-stepping or what have you, right? Or if it was, or they would want, 80s, slow ballads, like Journey and, things like that, right? Played where they'd get out and slow dance together. Occasionally you could play something like, the Macarena, or you could play something like, Cupid Shuffle, things like that. And some of the younger people might get out there and dance, right? Now that was one, there was like no alcohol, so there was not a whole lot of dancing, and it was basically very boring. And no matter how hard I tried to turn it up as the DJ, it just wouldn't work. You couldn't motivate these people, right? They were white as white could be. No soul. Then that takes us to number two. Now, number two would be another white person wedding, but they'd have alcohol, and the alcohol would give them this false sense of soul, right? Because they get drunk, they wouldn't care, and they'd get out there and they would white people dance, right? And you guys know what I mean when I say white people dance. And they'd want me to play all the club style music. They want me to play hip hop. They would want me to play, rap and all this other stuff, right? I'd play all this music they want me to play, right? And these white people be out there singing and dancing and just, and it would be fun, entertaining, watching these drunk white people trying to dance. And it was something else, right? And then I would have weddings, and on those ones, always ended up in fights, right? I seen brides and grooms get into fights with wedding party members. I seen wedding party members get into fights. I seen attendees just get into fights with each other. I seen attendees get in a fight with the bride or the groom. It was crazy. The only thing I ever did was get out there and kick them back into place and just keep them away from my DJ equipment, right? That was it. That's the problem. The wrong music was playing. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something, Toxic. I played exactly what they asked me to play. I say what genre, what era, whatever, particular songs they wanted to be, played stuff. Like I said, I was basically a very overpriced jukebox is what I was. Oh yeah, I bet. What was the worst fight I ever saw? The worst fight I ever saw. Okay. So the worst fight I ever saw was doing a wedding, and this was for a family friend that I had known since my childhood. right? We actually went to school together. And his daughter was getting married, and he said, "Would you DJ the wedding?" I said, "Sure." And so I'm DJing, and this was a very fancy event, right? This is they were really putting on some airs, you know what I'm saying? Because these people were just like me, you know what I'm saying? It was fried spam sandwiches and a bag of corn chips, but I mean, they putting on they had the coconut shrimp out on the buffet, and all the little hors d'oeuvres, and they had the bar, and they were really putting on the airs, right? And so I never got to attend any weddings, right? I always was go to wherever the reception was, and I would be setting up and getting things set up, whatever, so that when the wedding attendees and whatever, and so I'm sitting there and I'm emceeing, I'm doing what I'm getting ready to do, everything, whatever. And so all the staff and stuff is bustling around, getting everything ready, getting the we call it the buffet set up and all that stuff for the wedding anyway. And so people starts filing in. And this dude walks in, and I didn't know really. I knew the father of the bride, right, and his wife, and I knew the bride, but I did not really know any of the rest of you know what I'm saying? So a guy walks in a tuxedo, and he's got, looks like, I guess, wife and kids in tow with him, whatever. So I assumed that the guys were in a tuxedo. I was like, okay, well, this has got to be part of the wedding party, whatever, right? So they come in, and they get him a table, whatever, and he goes immediately to the bar, and he starts doing shooters. Now, I don't know if he's doing shooters of tequila, shooters of whiskey. I don't know exactly what. It was liquor. That's all I can tell you, because he was doing little shots, right? Shot glasses. He had them line up 4 or 5 of them. He starts throwing back shots, right? And so my wife's there with me. She's sitting next to me, whatever. And I look over at my wife. I'm like, oh, hell, this is going to be one of these. Because this homeboy here has just come straight in and done like 4 or 5 shots of whatever, right? So I'm like, this is about to get Liddy City, as they say, right? So then all the other people start coming in, whatever. And they come up to me and they say, hey, we want you to announce, they had a list of all the different, like, the bridesmaids and grooms and maid of honor and so forth, and wanted me to, they were going to walk in and announce, and whatever. They had this big script they want me to read. All right, fine. So I MC, I do whatever. So I'm reading these, whatever, and I'm, so I'm, as they come in, I'm watching. Homeboy that's is in the tux, right? Y'all, he's silver at the table. He's not even part of the wedding party, but he's wearing the same tux as the wedding party. And I'm like, that's when I'm like, what that makes no sense. Right? So as the night goes on, the wedding party is basically pulled up. I mean, they've set up camp at the bar, right? The bridesmaids, the groomsmen, everybody, best man, the whole bit, kit and caboodle, right? And they're just doing shooters. We're not, the women aren't drinking little glasses of Chablis, and the guys aren't sipping beers. No, they're pounding shots of liquor, right? And I'm like, and at this point, the reception has been going on for maybe like 2 hours. So these guys have been doing 2 hours of hard drinking. I'm thinking, boom, boom. So I'm like, okay. So anyway, and I'm playing music and I'm whatever, right? And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, homeboy that came in very beginning, had on whatever, he's comes over to the bar, whatever, and he starts doing shot stuff too. And I'm like, okay. And then the next thing I know, The bride and the groom are on the dance floor and they're dancing and they're doing what couples do, right? And there's other people out there dancing, whatever. I think my buddy and his wife, the mom and father of the bride, whatever, they're out there dancing, whatever. I see a flash out of the corner of my eye, right? One of the things I've learned from doing corporate events, doing weddings, all this stuff, anytime there's alcohol involved, you have to keep your head on a swivel because you never know, because 9 times out of 10, there's going to be some bullshit happen, right? And I got a lot of money tied up in this, the sound system, the speakers, the amps, I have lights and stuff like for, lasers and smokes and all that stuff, right? I'm a portable nightclub. And so I keep my head on swivel because, this shit's expensive. So anyway, so I see something, commotion, whatever. And next thing I know, I look over and it is like World War III has broke out at this bar, right? There's guys fighting, there's punches being thrown. There are women in these bridesmaids dresses. They're on the backs of guys beating people on the head. It is World War III going on. Now, I am in a conundrum. So do I sit there and say, okay, do I call for attention to this to get some adults over here, hopefully to get these knotheads lined out? Because if I do that, it's going to totally disrupt the wedding, right? Or the reception. It's going to cause problems, right? It's going to dampen the mood right? So anyway, all of a sudden, I'm like, what do I do? And it's getting loud, right? And it's getting to the point to where what's going on is drowning. The noise coming from it is drowning out the music I'm playing, right? So people are going to hear this, right? So what do? Well, I do what any respectable DJ would do. I cranked up the decibels. I took it to another notch, right? Crank that music on up, right? And just let them do whatever they want to do. Eventually, the groom turned to where he could see what was going on, and he goes tearing off over in there and, separating everything out. So here's the story, because there's always a story. So I get with my buddy at the end of, the wedding, they get everything there, whatever, and I'm tearing down my equipment, and of course, he comes over to pay me or whatever. And I'm like, dude, what? You whip out your phone and start recording? I probably, thinking back, if I'd have done that, I could have been real famous on social media a long time ago, because I have I've seen some stuff. But so I'm talking to my buddy. I'm like, what the hell was this all about? He said, dude, you're not going to believe what I'm fixing to tell you. So I'm all ears, brother. I'm all ears. Okay. So his son-in-law they wound up getting divorced, but their son-in-law was a lineman, right? He was one of these guys that would climb electrical poles or whatever, right? And they would do power lines and stuff, to string power lines, stuff, to whatever. And all the guys in the wedding party were on his crew, right? They were one big crew. The guy, right, that was in the tux but wasn't part of the wedding party, he was one of the guys on the crew too. But he was not well liked, shall we say, by these guys. He was kind of a whatever, they just didn't take to him. And he was really put out that he wasn't asked to be a part of the wedding. So he went out on his own, rented his own tux, found out where they were getting their tuxes from, went out and got everything. And so, and he got drunk and whatever, and he got mad. And he went over and he basically picked a fight with the entire wedding party. So it was like one guy against like 4 other guys. And then his wife, and here's the thing, they had small kids sitting at the table over there. His wife gets up and runs over and gets into the mix of it, right? Because these guys are beating her man down. Respect. Well, I understand that, whatever, right? But then she gets in there and starts hopping. Well, guess what? Now she jumps on the back and is whacking some dude on the head. Well, all these girls, I guess, were dating these guys who were these bridesmaids. And guess what they do? They start whopping them on that. So then we had a cat fight break out. There were, I think that was probably the craziest, like big brouhaha. But, and I've got other stories and I'll tell you guys one day, maybe, but that was probably the wildest and craziest. So anyway, let's come back because I got a few more Chris clips here this morning. So it says, Chris to Mark, white girl wasted on Zolly stream gone wrong. All right. So, all right, Maggot, let's see what you've got for us here this morning. Because I'll tell you, I haven't.
Your cats aren't real, Ziley.
Whoa.
Chris, I will wipe the floor with your white boy ass. You better shut the hell up.
Shit. Hey, yo, listen. Who has more rights in America?
Whoa.
Oh, shit, Chris. No, you did not. Do I remember what song was playing? I don't, Abby. I do not remember what was playing at the time. I'm sorry. I don't. God dang, Chris.
My goodness.
That's a really good point.
What?
That's a really good point, Chris. That's a really,
good, right?
really
so
good
legit.
point.
So legit.
Yep.
I'll be honest.
Hey,
Singing
Chris,
country is
Chris,
great.
I want you to pick something, okay? I want you to pick 60 seconds, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour, 1 day, or 1 week.
For what?
No, it doesn't matter for what. I want you to pick 60 seconds,
matter
5
for
minutes, 10 minutes,
No, I wanna know
1
for
hour,
what.
1 day, or 1 week.
Oh, Lord.
Hold on. I'm alone right now.
Oh, well, no, you don't. Okay.
Approximately 10 hours later.
I need you to pick, Chris.
Yes.
I need you to pick 60 seconds, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour, a day, or a week.
A week.
No, Chris.
Asshole.
Bye, baby. Love you, Chris. Just know I love you. Okay, a week. Bye.
Have a night.
Damn. Just like that. You know what? That is definitely a fuck around and find out moment. 100%. That was a Chris, you drunken asshole. God dang. Oh, Jesus. His drunk ass probably won't even know why. Oh, man. Why is it not letting him? Is Kristen? Why is? Come on, get on the right keys there. He ain't privated or nothing. Why did it not let him hurt? Oh, has he? Whatever. What is this here? Zada Gets Real's not messing around. Shockmouth fucked around and found. Shockmouth, what did you do to fuck? He may have untagged himself. Oh, okay. Chris got owned. Chris 100% got owned. So what did, oh, geez. There we go. Mitch, what did you do?
Not you being a little shit. Speaking of little shits, Matthew, how are you doing? Oh!
Yo! True.
Hey,
Wait.
Mitch.
What?
Pick 60 seconds, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour, 1 day, or 1 week.
Don't fall for this trick, Mitch.
Oh, no.
A week.
What
kind
of trick is
this? No.
Yeah.
Bye, Mitch.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God.
Shit.
Let's see some F's in the chat.
Oh,
F's in the chat for
That's
Mitch.
what happens when he calls Eiley old. Why would he ever do that?
Yeah,
F's in
exactly.
the chat for Mitch.
That's all you do, Boplaxis. Call her old. Mitch. Oh, my gosh. Oh, Lord. He got timed out later when I joined. He was sober. Good. Oh, my God. Hey, listen, Zotty don't play, you guys. I don't know why you would go in there and fuck around with her. She don't play. And good for Ziley. Good for Xylee. I'm okay with that. 100%. Anyway. Oh, God, that's funny. That's funny right there. Oh, she said 60 seconds, an hour, a week. A week? Boom, bitch. Oh, Lord. Oh, that's funny. So listen, speaking of Xylee, we will have Xylee on tonight with Dave. As far as I'll be sick if you can cover my latest tweak. I'm trying to get the word out. All right. You know what, Drew? Always for you, buddy. Let me get out there to the tweets. Let me pull up my buddy Drew is sharing. What you got going out here? Your latest tweet. All right, here we go. Oh, yeah, I heard about this, Drew. I'm sorry. I should have done. Okay, listen, guys. Let me just do something here. Let me copy this here. Right here. Here's what we need you guys to do. Coffee beans, listen to me. So our friend DrewIsSharing got kicked in the balls. Okay. There's a link to Drew's tweet. We're going to watch this tweet. Okay, this video he did. But we need signal boosting. We have to signal boost this. Okay. So here's what happened. So the other day, YouTube demonetized his entire channel after being in the partner program for more than 11 years. Their reasoning, listen to this, guys. Listen to this shit.
We very far behind it, but that's okay. Also, my entire YouTube channel got demonetized, so I've just lost myself like $4,000 a month. Well, anywhere from $1,000 to $4,000 a month. It sort of depends. It never is more. It's never more than $4,000. It's never less than $1,000. But my YouTube channel just got demonetized, so I'm losing anywhere from $1,000 to $4,000 a month. So if you guys want to hit me with a sub or like support on Patreon or whatever, that'd be cool. How come they did that? You want to know why they did it? Because I inquired about them falsely age restricting one of my videos.
Always bringing the fire, my G.
They then came back to me and said, no, the age restriction's in place because, and it's actually right, the age restriction's in place and it's right, and it's because you showed how to make drugs such as heroin and cocaine. I didn't do that in the video. That's the whole reason why I'm trying to appeal it, because that doesn't happen in the video. And then they came back and said, no, that does happen in the video. When the fuck does that happen in my video? And then not only that, so they came back with that. So I came back with another appeal and I said, bro, that doesn't happen. Like, contact the internal team. Blah, blah, blah. You know what the internal team came back with? They demonetized my entire channel for the same reason. The reason on my thing saying that my channel is demonetized is because of videos about heroin and cocaine.
But he doesn't do heroin and cocaine.
What? So cheers, YouTube, for not only not fixing the problem, but doubling down on the problem, and then making the problem even worse. So shout out to you, YouTube. Shout out to you. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie, I really don't care.
Well, that's... So yeah, they demonetized him. So be respectful about it, guys, right? Be respectful about it. But, definitely go out, signal boost this. Maybe get Team YouTube to take a second look at this. Give this a second look at, because this is not... Yeah, it says now, Drew says, um, it says, but now my videos that were demonetized have no restrictions are being recommended again, so I guess that's a bonus. Uh, I guess, but yeah, but if you're not making any money off of it, Drew, that's kind of bad, right? So, but yes, guys, here's the thing about it. This is what we have to remember. This is YouTube sandbox, right? This is their playhouse. So, you know, if you come in and you're hostile and you put forth like aggressive type energies, right? That's what you're going to be met with. So be respectful. Ask them to look at it again, to maybe, you know, give it a second look, maybe get a fresh set of eyes on it. You know, and hopefully we can get them to take a second look at this and give Drew a second thing. Now, geez. Now, I don't know if I lost around 4K a month coming in from a source. That would be, whew, that would be a blow for me. But you know, I guess I'm glad Drew's taking. I'm glad you're taking it in stride, dude. But that wouldn't be a hard. That one would definitely be a bitter pill for me to swallow. That's all I'm going to say. So anyway, yeah. So anyway, guys, share that tweet, retweet it. Again, do it nicely, do it respectfully. Ask them to please to relook at this, to recheck it out. And hopefully we can get us a fresh set of eyes on this, and maybe get Drew a second, get him reinstated. So anyway, because Drew's a good guy. I like Drew. Drew has helped me out. The other evening he sat with me and helped me go through some stuff on the back end, stuff I didn't understand. Because here's a little news flash, right? There's not like, YouTube does not have like to me, any type of way to go in and say, okay, here's what analytics means, and this is what this means, and this is what this means, and this is good, and this is bad, and this is what you need to do whatever. They don't have anything like that, right? And Drew, being the good guy he is, and a smart guy, you know, he took his time with me the other evening, and quite a bit of time, which I was very, very grateful for. Because remember what I always say, guys, the most precious gift that anyone has to give is their time, right? It's the most valuable thing that anyone can ever give anyone is their time. It's not money. It's not material things. It's their time. It's the only thing that is non-renewable. You never get any more of it. You've got a finite amount of time on this planet. And where you decide to invest your time and invest your, invest it, that's it. You get one shot at it. And I was so appreciative that Drew gave his time that evening with me and helped me go through that and help me understand some stuff. And I've made, he gave me some suggestions, and I've implemented. I'm trying to do my best to implement those suggestions and stuff, because Drew is a smart man. So anyway, but listen, guys, I am out of time this morning. But again, signal boost that, be respectful, be nice about it, and let's see if we can get Drew some help there. I don't have a lot here, but whatever I got, I will 100% give to support Drew. 100% I will. And I will make sure, and I'll bring that up tonight on Dave's stream as well too. Maybe even call in, and Drew, and you can talk about it a little bit. But yeah, I haven't heard anything from Dave this morning, but I'm going to go under the assumption that we will be live with Xylee this evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If I hear something different, I will definitely tweet it out. If it gets shifted in time or whatever, I will tweet that out as well. But right now, tentatively, we will be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. If you, again, like I said, if you missed the stream, the podcast I did with my wife over on Clear as Mud Sunday, go check that out. I think you guys will enjoy it. There's always, and if you haven't and you've got a couple extra bucks laying around and you would, like to buy one of the oatmeal for brains, like I said, we now have it in a hoodie. So if hoodies are your thing and you'd like a hoodie, check it out. Explanation mark merch. Link to the merch stores in the description of the. I think it's in the description of the video here. I've also got it linked on my Twitter now. I've tried to make sure I've got it branded everywhere, as they say. Remember, all proceeds from that, and as you know, like I said, all proceeds from this channel is going into that fund that I'm going to be using to go out and help other creators. So getting them, technology in their hands to help them become better creators or replace, whatever we need to do, whatever we need to do it. So anyway, listen, guys, I appreciate you today. It's Monday, but don't let that get you down, right? Have a cup of coffee, take a little time, and anyway, I will see you this evening. I definitely will see you tomorrow morning at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, right here as always. And hopefully we'll have some more funny things to talk about. And anyway, until then, you guys listen, keep your powder dry, and I'll see you in the funny papers.